Hey guys, Baron here. I don't know about you, but I often find myself looking into the worlds of my favorite games and think, how does their society look? How does its citizens live? And what about the people that rule it? And I think, with this in mind, the Mushroom Kingdom is no exception. To be completely fair, the society isn't the most complex. You got a kingdom where the princess often gets unwanted attention from a big turtle, ending up in a kidnapping heist where a plumber of all people has to come in and save her. Pretty basic struggle of power. But something that I think is very interesting in this society, which I might add isn't brought up enough, are the Mushroom Head citizens. These servants of the royal court help this very plumber out in his rescue and gives him power-ups and general positive vibes. But something I've always wondered about them is if the work for the royal family could verge into slavery and forced labor. So today we are going to break that down. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscrizzle that subscribe button, and share this video with a friend or two. But with that being said, let's dig into it. So before we do anything else, we should probably look into what these citizens with the Mushroom Head actually are. They are a popular race in the Mushroom Kingdom, where they have a capital that is called the Toad Town. Now, to be fair, not all these citizens actually work for the royal court. Some of them are outsider citizens with other professions. With this being said, it should be mentioned that a large portion of these do work in this line of work, so to say. As I mentioned, they often help Mario and Luigi on their adventures. As a matter of fact, Toad, one of the Mushroom Folk, is a playable character in many of the games in the franchise. There are, however, other significant characters that are of this race in games, such as Toadette, Toadsworth, and the Toad Brigade. We will come back to these later. To make this video a bit easier, we're going to focus on the Mushroom Kingdom citizens heavily involved with the royal family and that work with them, since these are the ones that we are interested in. Turning to something very seriously, if we're gonna look at the definition of what a slave is and what defines it, we turn to the Oxford Dictionary. They mean that a slave is a person who is the legal property of another and is forced to obey them. It's someone who works very hard without proper remuneration or appreciation, excessively dependent upon or controlled by something and a device, or part of one directly controlled by another. If we translate this into less formal and complicated terms, this means that the kingdom and the king and queen and the rest of the royal family own them, leaving them with neither independence or anything that could remotely be called right. They will work hard for these people, without getting anything for it. No security and no money. And they will be looked upon as a cog in a watch, just someone that can be replaced and is only valued by their work. That's very harsh. So are the Toads really slaves, with no right and no value? Can their unending dedication be compared to what we would call slavery? Well, to understand this, we should look into the things we see from the Toads in the actual story of the games. Because here is where we truly see what their lives look like and the formal moral characters of these very deep and involved characters. In their first appearance in Super Mario Bros. On the NES, the employees of the royal court are actually shown as advisors and helpers who are also kidnapped along with the princess by Bowser, meaning that whatever value they would have, Bowser saw that they needed to be kidnapped in order for his plan to be successful. Doesn't sound like something you would get with a slave, right? The advisors appear once again in the castles that Mario goes to and beats mini-bosses in Super Mario All-Stars. At the end of another game, Super Mario Bros. 2, where you finally relieve the princess from Bowser, they circle around the heroes, thanking them. Again, showing loyalty, but does it go as far as something we would call slavery? If we look at another example on Super Mario Bros. 3, there's a Toad kept captured in all castles where the king of the mushroom world live. When Mario or Luigi enter the castle, the Toad asks them to get the magic wand back from the Koopalings, Bowser's minions, to transform the king back to his original form. In this game, Toads are also found in Toad houses, where they give extra lives and useful items, which might be compared to casinos but not really slavery. They also run the spade panels, which is a scrolling game where you have a random chance to get different items. If the player manages to match all boxes to get 3 in a row, they get more lives. Very exciting, but yet again, not really slavery. Looking at a third example, we should turn to Super Mario Galaxy. It's here where we meet the Toad Brigade. They appear as supporting characters who help Mario with his travels across the galaxy using their Star Shroom, their ship. Yeah, that's kind of a stupid name, but whatever, we're gonna move past it. There are 5 members of this squad: Captain Toad, the Digger Bank Toad, the Intelligent Blue Toad, the Mailman Male Toad, yeah, I know, lazy, and Yellow Toad, who is often found sleeping. They all have different qualities and different abilities, and can be compared to one of the ultimate defenses of the Mushroom Kingdom. It is revealed at the end of the game, when they show up the last time, that because of their work defending the kingdom, they have been promoted to the Royal Guards. The Brigade also appears in Super Mario Galaxy 2, where they, just like in the previous game, helps Mario in his quest for his intergalactic heroism. Here, Captain Toad reveals that he's a Toad who established himself simply by wearing a headlamp as a captain. Additionally, their ship is revealed to have been built by the Lumas, an alien species with the form of stars. All this indicated that these are not only different Toads than before, they also are filling different roles and purposes within the Brigade themselves, with one now being a banker. So why is this all important? Well, here's where we get to my conclusion of it all. By the information that we have gathered, it shows that the Toads that work within the royal courts are trusted employees. They are valued by their role that they fulfill in aiding the royal family, but they are also important, it seems, on an individual level, at least to Bowser. This suggests that they in fact are not slaves. Well, it was possible that slaves, at least if we're talking about the slaves in America during the 17th and 18th century, they were valued by their assets and nothing else. But depending on the families and employers that they worked for, they could rise in hierarchy of the slaves and be valued and involved in many different things more and more. Their role and their work here are obviously valued by a lot, something not very common with slaves. But what surprises me is that Bowser kidnaps them specifically, along with the princess. This shows that they filled a certain role, not just as manpower, but also trusted advisor by the royal family. And while yes, it was possible for slaves to be trusted individuals, it was very rare and pretty much unheard of unless they were released. We see this in other instances, with a member of the Toad Brigade being promoted to the Royal Guard. That's a big deal, and it definitely requires a lot of trust. Something, to be fair, goes very much against the concept of slaves. I do think, however, that the strongest proof towards the Toads not being slaves is that Captain Toad in Super Mario Galaxy 2 had an opportunity to effect his own role in his crew, meaning he's neither a cog in the machine, being able to effect his work, and not simply following the rule of others. I do think, however, that the Toads are very dedicated and loyal workers. They believe extremely strongly in the royal family, and what they say is absolutely correct and final. So essentially, they are brainwashed minions, living in a harsh monarch society with lots of sunshine and waterfalls. Okay, maybe that's not all bad. But we should be careful to follow authority though. We don't want to end up like mindless and non-questioning Toads. So with that, I leave you with one final message. Criticism and your own judgment is important, kids. So guys, that's it from me. What do you think about this topic? What do you think? Do you think they are slaves to Toad people, or do you think they are not? Let us know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and to get a discussion going. Also, of course, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, that subscribe button, and share this video with a friend or two. But with that being said, I'm gonna get the hashtag out of here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Before, until, and after I see you next time though, stay awesome.